Welcome, everyone. FutureProbe is back in the studio. I've landed back in the US of A. I'm caught up. I know what happened with the election now. I know what happened with... What else happened in America? The boxing now. I know what happened with... I know Wicked is about to come out. I'm caught up on I'm back in America, being American, but I still got a lot to share from Japan, and I'm going to do that today. So I just thought talk for a little bit about, I'm going to recap where I was, what I was doing. I talked about it a little bit on the Mega 64 podcast, but you know, if I went on about everything, it would have been a 4-hour podcast, and no one else would have spoke. So, I mean, that sounds great to me, to be TBH. But I'm going to be benevolent. I'm going to be fair, and I'm going to talk about that stuff here a little more in depth. So, anyway, so welcome everybody. It actually was nice being back on the podcast. To all jokes aside, it was cool. I hadn't really talked to anybody I really hadn't talked to anyone that much, and I left at a time where a lot of things were happening, and I felt bad about that. So it was nice being back with everybody. I'm just gonna kind of talk about where I was, and again, if anybody has questions or anything you want to talk about, let me know. Okay, first things first. Let's get into it. The first night that I got in, I'm gonna be real up front, okay? I was scared going into my Japan trip this time because anytime I've gone, I've been very lucky. I've been insanely lucky. I've always gone with a group, or more specifically, a lot of times I'm in a group with someone who is a translator, like a group that has hired a translator. You know, I've gone with game developers before. I've gone with, okay, we're here to film a video and they're going to bring a translator to help us. I've always gone with someone who kind of knew the lay of the land. And this time I was just going on my own. I know people out there who I was going to visit, places I was going to have meetings. I had plenty to do, plenty of people to kind of be around and talk to, but coming in, I didn't have anything. And leaving too. I was like, oh, how am I going to get to the airport? You know, these are things I don't know. And to add to that, I've maybe talked about this a little bit in the past, but I had, or have, I guess I still do, kind of crazy, not so much a fear. No, I have a fear of getting lost. Not a fear in the sense that I'm like up at night. Oh, what if I get lost? But I look at maps and I look at directions, and my brain, it's like I go into a panic. Like I don't know I can't navigate this. Like I can't, it's just a lot. For some reason, I get lost in my own neighborhood. I just can't. I need someone to tell me where to go. I just kind of freak out about getting lost. This is something I had a lot when I was younger. I didn't get my driver's license for a long time, because it's like, well, I don't want to drive anywhere. I'm going to get lost, whatever. And then what helped me was the advent of GPS. How the hell are you going to get lost? This thing's telling you at every turn to take. And then I did that, and it was like, oh, okay, great. But people, so I don't have that problem now. I mean, I still need GPS to find stuff. I'm a huge idiot, but with Japan, I was always told, the trains are so easy. They literally couldn't be easier. Actually, the train in Japan, well, that's easy as pie. It's easy as pie. I love when you're frustrated with something and you don't know how to figure it out, and people insist to you, not just that it's easy, but it's easy as pie. There's nothing more angering than when you can't figure something out and someone specifically uses that terminology. It's easy as pie. Oh, don't worry, it's easy as pie. Oh, it's easy as pie? Oh, okay. I thought it was going to be simple to figure out. I didn't know it was easy as pie, like pie, like a big fucking pumpkin pie at Thanksgiving. It's like that. Oh, thanks for clarifying that it's easy, like that. And do you mean like cooking that? Because I can't figure that shit out either. Oh, just like eating it. Okay, it's easy as pie. Oh, why the fuck was I worried? Anyway, I couldn't figure it out. I'm sorry. I was having a lot of trouble with the maps. I second guess myself. I go, oh, that was the right stop. Nope, it was actually the wrong stop. I messed it up. But what's changed so much over the years is like your phone really, like there was a time when I first started, there was a time I was going every year to Japan pretty regularly. And in the earlier 2000s, and you couldn't use your iPhone over there. You just couldn't do it. Or you could turn the data on and pay $1,000, and it might work, But now it's easy. Now you text the phone company texts you like, oh, you're in another country. Okay, you're cool. Yeah, okay. So I used that, and then dude, Apple Maps just holds your hand the whole time. So my goal going into this trip was, I'm going to learn the train system. So I had an important meeting on the second day. I think it was the second day that I was there. Like the first night I got in, I just kind of ate and went to bed. But the second day I had a meeting, and that I just took a cab because I didn't know. And then once I was at that meeting, I think that was the day I went to the Kojima Studios, and I did some other stuff too. Actually, I'm going to post videos soon. I went to the Sony headquarters, and I have a video, but I need to edit it, and I haven't done that. I really haven't had time to edit much since I got back. But they had a really cool exhibit in the Sony headquarters, so I checked that out. Did a bunch of cool stuff. Card Freak, thanks for your sub. By the way, sub if you like our streams. Goes without saying. You get a free one on Amazon Prime every month, so easy. But anyway, I was like, I'm just going to take the train the way back. That's it. If I get lost all night tonight, I got all night. I got nothing else going on. I'm going to do that. And yeah, man, apple pie. It was, wait, did I say apple pie? Apple Maps. No, you got pie in my brain. I used Apple Maps. Grockin, thanks for your sub. Let me see if I... you don't really, no, I don't know. It's not much of a visual, but I was going to show you inside. Yeah, this was me. This was me like most of the time. Sitting there on my phone on the train. Oh, train manners. We're learning train manners. Oh, this would have been good to learn before I did it. Anyway, I took that train, and I was so amped, you guys, taking the train back from this area that I was at, just like, okay, go to this. And Apple Maps did such a great job because it was like, every stop was like, no, three more stops. No, not yet. 3 more stops. 2 stops. You know what I mean? It held your hand, and then when you got out of the train, it's like, oh, this next one is boarding in 2 minutes. Oh shit, am I gonna make that? Oh, don't worry, there's one every 2 minutes for the next 7 hours. I'm like, oh, okay. It just doing it. I learned from doing. When everyone was back in the day was just showing me maps, I couldn't figure it out. But doing it, I conquered it. Now, anytime I go to Japan, I'm in. Like I know what to do. It couldn't have been a better time. It was such a great time. This isn't that, some people are going to go, big deal. But to me, this was like my biggest accomplishment this trip, is that this old fear of being lost that I haven't had since like 2008 or 9 that I've kind of buried was surfacing again. And we came back, we flew back to Japan and conquered it. That was my biggest accomplishment. I was very happy. So once I did that, the world was my oyster, and I had such a great time. I went that night into Akihabara, that, if you don't know, is kind of like the electronics district, lot of nerd related stuff there. Oh, Suica card. Who the hell are these people? People asking about the Suica card. You guys, I know everyone's going to go, oh, classic Apple cuck. You guys, the iPhone nailed this. You can add the Suica card to your Apple Wallet anytime. You hit the plus sign up there and it goes, yeah, what country are you looking for stuff for? Japan. Suica, oh, you need a Suica card? Yeah. It adds it. Okay, how much you want to put on it? 5,000 yen. All right, done. That's it. And it works in express mode where it hard codes that shit to the chip in the phone to where even when you just use the phone as the card. So beep, beep, you beep your way in and out of the turnstile. It works even if the phone is completely dead. There was one night my phone died. Trust me, I was not happy about that. And I figured the trains back on my own. I did it. So I was very happy about that. But you just even if the phone is dead, it beeps that chip. You don't even need power. God, it was so cool. So yeah, that was some good future tech. There's some things about Japan that they're out of date on. I know people working there who are faxing all the time. Sure. But then there's other things that are in the future. So that was great. Anyway, Akihabara. I went there the first night. Like, dude, I made it here on my own. This is so dope. I remember being here like 15 years ago. Oh, isn't Super Potato over there? You guys, I'm going to sound like the biggest fucking douchebag. I know that I am. I know how this is going to sound. And people are going to use this clip against me like, oh, look, it is ego or whatever. But yes, I had an inflated ego in Akihabara because I have never been recognized in another country. Well, okay, like once maybe, once or twice, just out in public. It's happened maybe once or twice. And it was like, oh, cool. I got recognized in Japan one time. I want to say 2009, where a Japanese man in a tie said, and I remember this quote very well. I enjoy your Tetris comedy. And I remembered that meant a lot to me. I enjoyed your Tetris comedy. I wanted to get like a tattoo of that because that comment meant a lot to me. I got recognized one other time during Tokyo Game Show. And he was like, oh my God, it's you. And I'm like, oh, cool. Mega 64 fan. And he was like, oh, I saw you in Fernando's video. Oh, Battle Hero Absolute. That was so good. He was actually a fan of Jabroni Pictures. I did a couple of their videos. So I was like, oh, he had no clue what Mega 64 was. So anyway, but I'll take it. I was very flattered. But my God, being at Akihabara, I got recognized so much. I don't know what happened. I was going into stores. Rocco, what are you doing here? What? A lot of it was people from some Japanese people, but a lot of Australian people. Shout out Taz, I think your name was, if you're watching. Right, Rocco, didn't think you'd be here. Oi, hey mate, are you Rocco? You know, it was like, what? This is not a joke. I was going from floor to floor in the Ami Ami store in Akihabara. I went up the stairs. It's like 8 stories of figures. But then I was kind of like recapping some of the floors with just going down the elevator. Like, oh, I'll stop at this floor. Yeah, okay. And I'll go down another floor. Yeah, okay. I was coming out of the elevator to gasps. The elevator would open. Rocco, what? To go from never being recognized in this place, like I thought, like, oh, I'll just vanish anonymously for a while, which, you know, that's a nice thing sometimes. Not like I'm getting recognized all the time, but sometimes. Going here and having people, what are you doing here? What? And what I think it is, first of all, it was fans from other countries. I'm in a very nerdy area, and they were fans from, it was a lot of the UK, Australia, stuff like that. Very flattered. But our Evangelion video really did numbers in Japan, specifically. It's funny because we've done Dragon Ball Z stuff a whole bunch of times, and I think that's gotten views, but nothing like the Eva videos. Those really took off on Japanese Twitter, some of which we uploaded, some of which we didn't. But it really got around. And I mentioned this on the Mega 64 podcast, but I got recognized at the official Eva store. I found that in I can't remember how you say it. Ikeburo. Shit, I'm sorry. I'm going to get that wrong. But I got recognized in there, and like the guy working there was like pulling me up on the phone, like, this is you? Like, it was really crazy. So we haven't been to Japan we went to Osaka 5 years ago. That's the last time we've been there, and then but prior to that I hadn't been there in at least 7. So that was a very weird adjustment. That was the fact that anybody knew who I was extremely flattering. Like, that was really crazy. So anyway, like I said, I didn't mean to bring that up like look at me. But my ego was like, my head was big leaving Akiba that night. Let me tell you. I came there. It was a good day because I conquered the train system. I felt good, and then I headed there, and I had nerds from around the world going, "Yeah, man, good to see you." It was like, yes, I did it. So anyway, that's all. I had a very good day. Am I bragging about it? Yes, hell yes. There've been some dark days here in the last month. That was a day I fucking needed. Thank you. Woo! Okay. All right. So I felt great. Felt really good. But anyway, what did I do there? I went to Super Potato. I know, like, kind of every tourist goes there. If you're going to Akihabara, you're going there. But they have really, it's pretty amazing still that store you could ask, I think, for a copy of any video game, and they would have a copy of it, right? I mean, I don't know if you've been there, but I really think if you went like, oh, give me, Monster Party on NES. Okay, here you go. Okay, give me NBA 2K7 on PS3. They probably would have it. Yeah, Super Amakuni pretty much nailed it. Super Potato's dope. Just don't buy anything there. I've heard, the prices are not the best. But I just love going there just for the sake of observing all of it. And it was definitely worth the trip for that. I did pick up a couple things. I felt bad. The only time I bought a t-shirt in the entire time I was in Japan, I got it there because they actually had a shirt that was 3L, 3 large, like a 3XL. And I was like, yeah, but I still don't trust that it's going to fit me. And I was having doubts. And actually one of the employees there, she came up and was like, would you like to see it? Like, I'll take it out of the plastic. I was like, yeah, hell yeah. So she ripped it open and showed it to me. I was like, that's pretty big. I'll take it. and I bought that shirt and a couple. They had a couple acrylic figures of old Final Fantasy games. Like they had an acrylic stand figure, whatever, of Cecil from Final Fantasy IV becoming a paladin, and one of the Magitex from Final Fantasy VI walking through the snow. So I got a couple of those, and then I got that shirt, but the shirt didn't fit me. It was so close. It was big, but it didn't fit me, and it kills me. I saw so much cool clothes that weekend, and none of it could ever fit me, and it was killing me. Man, it was killing me. Someone at the meetup gave me what is it? What is the name of the company? They just did a line of clothing for Metal Gear Solid Delta. Is it Gert? Is it called Guro? What is it? I don't remember. It's GU. Well, anyway, they did a line. It's just GU. Okay. Well, they did a line of Metal Gear Delta clothes, and someone at the meetup gave me this white hoodie that just lists all of Cobra Unit on the back. It literally just says the pain, the sorrow, the end, the fury. You know, oh my god! I was like weeping looking at this thing, and I don't think it fits. I don't think it fits. But I'm not getting rid of it. I'm keeping it. Maybe I can, get ripped or something. Wear it. I don't know. Anyway. So, but yeah. Yeah, so I got that stuff. I went all around. I really didn't buy figures this trip. I wasn't really there for figures. I was going to get stuff if it was like hyper exclusive, like, ooh, gotta have that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you'll only get this thing at this place. Like, then I would bend for that. But I really wasn't there for figures. I wanted to record videos. I wanted to shoot videos and meet up with people. When it comes to figures, I'm kind of ahead of the game. I kind of know what I want, and I either already have it or I'm on it. You know what I mean? So I wasn't really there to just round up a bunch of figures. Anyway, but what else did I see there? Yeah. So the next day, I had a free day. The next day, I really didn't have any plans in terms of like seeing anybody or meeting with anybody, whatever. So I actually just took a day to myself. Oh. No, this is what I was going to talk about. The night I got in, sorry, I bypassed a very important chapter. The night I got in, it was kind of late. Everything was, not much was going on. And I was staying in a really sleepy town, which I love, by the way. I would rather stay in a sleepy area and just kind of take in the quiet life and then like go into the city rather than stay in the city. You know what I mean? Like stay in like, oh, I'm in this busy, I'm at the hotel above the Shibuya intersection. You know what I mean? I'd rather be in a nice quiet place. Anyway, let me see. So what did I was hungry when I got in, and what did I eat? You guys, I went to the Japanese, there was a 7-Eleven just around the corner. You guys. It was like, first of all, it had been a very stressful couple of weeks. So, Japan, it wasn't like the best timing to leave for Japan, acknowledged, but it all kind of on a personal level paid off when I had a moment to myself. I was in Japan. I found my hotel. I found all my stuff. Everything was fine. And then I sat on a nearby park bench and ate one of these. I ate it looks different than, yeah, it was like I ate an egg sandwich. And it was like I saw the face of God. Earth Boy, that's exactly what I had. Pocari Sweat and an egg sandwich. And then I had one of these too, one of the onigiris. That was like, it's so funny because I had way better meals during my trip, but for some reason, this was like the one that brought tears to my eyes. It just felt so pure. You know what I mean? It was like, after all the insane and crazy and often dark bullshit that had happened the weeks previous, now I'm sitting in another country and it's quiet and it's peaceful and it's safe. I made it. I feel good. And I'm sitting on a park bench watching the sunset and I'm eating one of these sandwiches. And it was like, I just felt good. You know what I mean? I just felt so right in that moment. Now, I'm going to tell you about the other and possibly favorite thing that I did while I was out there. I really have tried to be more, I really have tried to be more careful about talking about theme park stuff because I know a lot of people don't care about that. And I get this feeling that it leaks into everything that I do. And I know that sometimes that can be like, okay, bro, enough. You know what I mean? But I want to talk about something related to that. Vinny is asking, will you go into how you planned the trip? Like, did you go through a travel agent? No, I winged it. I winged this whole thing kind of just like based on where I was going. Like, all right, if I stay around here, that's pretty good. If I stay around there, that's pretty good. You know, it was just kind of easy. I kept it very chill. I wanted it to just be like, I'm going to do what needs to get done and otherwise have a good time. But sorry, I'm trying to keep my throat viable, you know? Okay. So asking how much I spent on the trip there and stuff. You know, I don't know the actual numbers, but everything that I'm saying, I want to make this clear, was so much cheaper than anything you could do here. Going to Disney World in Florida would have cost more than doing what I did in going to Tokyo. I'm not joking. Things I would say have inflated less over there, but on top of that, the yen is so weak that I ate all this food. I was having feasts, and then I'd get the bill, and it was like 1,100 yen. Isn't that only $11? Oh yeah, normally. But then with the yen, so already that would be cheap, but then the yen's so weak. Oh, it's more like 7. It's like, are you joking? So yeah, your plane ticket will be the most expensive thing. That is going to be expensive. But everything else I did was so much cheaper than anything I could do here. So it was the irony is that I had a lot of, I'm going to be honest. I've said this, I know the timing of my trip was bad and I felt terrible about that. Leaving here right when, Mega 64 was going through a bad time. Things were looking dire there and people came out to show support, gave us a chance to kind of like, okay, what's our next plans with Mega 64? But we kind of couldn't sit in a room and make those plans because I left immediately. So I felt bad about that. Just the timing was bad. Just for the sake of my friends, we really should have been all together like, all right, what do we do now? And I wasn't there for them. And I do feel bad about that, but this was already in motion. It would have been worse to get out of this, you know? But that being said, the irony is that I did have people, you know, I knew it was going to happen. It was really not a big deal. I knew there was going to be haters who, you know, either haters or people who don't pay attention to every stream we do or anything not every single thing we talk about. And that's understandable. Who were like, you know, I thought you just said, you know, Mega 64 was in trouble and all this other stuff. But you're going on vacation to Japan, you know, and I understand the optics were bad. I get that if you're not following, but I really tried to be as transparent as possible with everybody. I was talking about it from the beginning. That, you know, hey, this is already in motion. That's going to happen. And it was Cameo that funded it. So it would have been more of a dick move to not do it. Oh, all those cameos. Yeah. I never mind. I threw that money away. Like, you know, it wasn't, it would have been worse to not do it. So anyway, I knew that was going to happen. Totally understandable. That's fine. But the irony, and it still has been happening. It happened almost every single day of my trip. I would get some tweet or DM or something that was like, damn, it sucks you lied to your fans, or, you know, damn, you couldn't, you know, well, you fleeced everybody, or, you know, stuff, something like that was almost every day. I knew that was coming, but it was still like, really, man. That being said, the irony is that what I should have done, and I didn't do this, but what I should have done is every time I got one of those, just showed them my receipts for the day. It was literally cheaper for me to stay there. It costs more for me to continue doing what I do here day to day than there. Like, it actually made sense for me to not be here. Like, it actually gave me second thoughts about, well, maybe do we need to do Mega 64 from California? Mega 64 Tokyo might be an option. Do you know what I mean, though? It was cheaper every way of life, to eat, to, you know, even gas. You know, I'm not even spending money on gas. I go a long distance on the train and it's $1, you know? So I should have done that. That would have been the thing to do. Some of the things that I did, there's some things that I didn't even post because they looked kind of fancy, like, oh, look at this fancy thing. And again, optics are not great on it. I'm sure people would have seen it and gone, oh, he's doing all this fancy schmancy stuff. And it's like, yeah, this all costs less than going to McDonald's in America. You know, it's like, it doesn't, it's just a joke at this point. So anyway, yeah, California is gnarly. So anyway, so that's all. I just wanted to share that first. That was the great joke of the entire trip, was how phenomenally cheap it was. I kept thinking, oh, I can't do that. It's going to, oh, you know, stay within the budget on this. And then it's like, you haven't even touched the budget. You haven't even, it wasn't. Anyway. Okay. So, where was I? Okay. So let's talk about the next thing. So that was kind of the first day I went. Very eventful, really cool. But I'm going to show you. So I had a free day the next day. Oh, by the way, I did a video. I still need to edit this too. I haven't done it yet. I'll probably have it done this weekend, but I did a little experiment while I was gone. I was flying out when the election was going down here in America. And I thought, let's do a little experiment. I'm not going to look up who won. I'm going to take social media off my phone. There were things that still needed to be posted. Guy is saying he had to cut back on talking about how cheap Japan trips are on Twitter because people who live there were getting pissed, and I got some angry DMs and passive aggressive replies from people who live there. Oh my God, that's so funny. All right, well, that'll be the last time I talk about it then. Anyway, so I did a little experiment. What was the first thing you said to Kojima? I actually told when I saw them there, so I can't talk a ton about what happened there. I guess I didn't really say much about that. Okay, so at Kojima Productions, it was so funny because I came in, I got to you saw the photos. I got to go in the White Room and all that stuff. And I took some of my own pictures in there too, but they gave me a full, got a full tour of the place, got to see all this stuff. It was really cool. Then I got to be in there. They had a room for like mixing and all that, where they mix all their stuff, and it had plaques and all that stuff where it was like THX certified and all that stuff. Is like, oh man, this is like, and the stuff they played in there sounded so good. You'd never heard sound that good. And it was so dope because it was like, I was watching stuff in there in the definitive way. I mean, Kojima and his crew mix the game in that room. So you literally can't hear that game in a better setting than that room. So I think that maybe they were taken by surprise how much I wanted to be in there. Obviously that White Room with the statue and all that stuff was like really impressive, but I was like, no, like, can I sit down? Can I, and they were like, yeah, we'll play something for you. How, did you see this trailer? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, oh, you already saw it? Well, what about this thing from Tokyo Game Show? I was like, yeah, I saw that too. And they're like, oh, okay. Oh, you've seen everything. Well, all right, get the NDAs ready. And then they immediately got someone with a bunch of paperwork like out, and they were like, all right, go ahead. And then I saw some stuff. I saw some new stuff. Ooh. Anyway, it was, and I was asking all kinds of questions. How long did that take? How did you figure that out? How did you, whatever. And it just sounded so good. And the sound in there, you're in that room, you could do that and it's flat. Like it doesn't echo. Like the sound was perfect in that room. Actually, in most rooms in there, they had perfect audio because they would record things in different rooms for different purposes. It was kind of cool. But anyway, they immediately hit me with that paperwork. So I'm not talking about anything. But what I saw was very cool and very exciting. So anyway, but as somebody said, what did you say to Hideo? First of all, he took all those photos, like the photos of me. They asked me to sign the wall. He took all the photos. I always see those pictures online and stuff like that, thinking like, oh, they got a photographer or whatever. He took all those photos and then put the DSLR away. And then I signed the thing, and then he was like, wait. And then he got a Polaroid camera and was like, stand right there, like mugshot. Okay. And then he took a Polaroid, and that Polaroid will be next to my signature, I think, on the wall. And I was so flattered because the wall, so you can look through their studio and it's all like here's the recording, here's where they record stuff, here's the mixing room, here's the whatever. But the place like that is guarded is like the room where there's a million people actually programming the game. Like you ain't going in there. That's where like the majority of the magic happens. And that door, the wall around that door, that's where everyone does the signatures. And they asked me to put mine right by the door. I mean, when you go to that door, it's my signature and the smiley face under it right there. I mean, Nicolas Cage's signature is over in the corner over there, all these other signatures there, you got Neil Druckmann down over by end of the wall over there. They put mine right by the door. I'm right there. I think I'm right. I'm like, somebody mentioned Hunter Schafer. I think Hunter Schafer's was just a little further down vertically. But I was so just honored. They're going to have to look at that stupid smiley face every time they come in to work on stuff. But anyway, it was really cool. It was really cool just seeing how things were going there, and they're working hard. And very excited about what's going to come out. I mean, it's new Kojima stuff. You think I'm not going to be excited about that? But I do want to say, somebody asked what was the first thing I said to him. Well, I said hi, and we took a bunch of pictures and stuff. But what I said, they asked me, they were like, "Oh, what brings you to Japan?" I'm like, doing some meetings and then just kind of going my own way, going to stuff. And they're like, "Oh, what kind of stuff?" And I said, I have a free day tomorrow, so I think I'm going to go to DisneySea. And they were like, "Oh, it's going to be, we heard it's crowded." And I said, and again, yeah, they had someone translating. And I said, I'm going to call them, and they're going to tell all the people at the park to go away, to go home. I don't know why that made his assistant laugh really hard. Like, she kept laughing. I was like, I'm going to call them and they're all going to go home, and you can come. Hideo should come with me, and we can go on the new Peter Pan ride. I don't know why they were laughing at that. I was trying to explain our plan. Let's go tomorrow. And it will be fun. That's why I'm here. Anyway, so we were all laughing about that. Yeah, anyway, talked about all kinds of stuff, but it was really, really cool. Their cafeteria is really cool. Really nice place. I don't think this is breaking NDA by saying this. They got a machine, free Pocari Sweat. Bing! Hit that button, free Pocari Sweat. Day was made. So anyway, so that was what kind of happened there. What I can talk about. Planning a trip so quickly is what was. Planning a trip so quickly is what was funny. Yeah, they did tell me they can't, if they have a trip, they have to like meticulously plan every moment of it. And so I think that was what was cracking them up. I was like, I don't know. I was, I really just wanted to like have this experience on my own and not feel too burdened down. And I think I planned it perfectly. Every day I had some big thing to do. And then after that, so I was able to just film stuff or walk around or whatever. How did the studio compare to other studios here in the States? It was, I've never seen anything like that. That studio felt like, I said this on Twitter, it felt like being in one of his games. You go up to their floor and it's like a black void with a glass, thing. And the guy swipes his key card and, and I walked up to a mirror. They were like, look in the mirror. And then that went up, and, I was in a white room. It was like blinding. It was so much. It was just like, what? And that white room, there are secret rooms within it. Like, it's just a stark white room. And then they were like, oh, but there's secrets in here. And one wall, like, he pushed in, and there was like a museum. There was like a museum in there where Death Stranding was playing on a wall, and all these artifacts from the game, like a cast of Norman Reedus's face and artwork, of concept artwork from stuff from the game. That was just all in there. I took a video of that, and I'll put it out. That I was told was completely okay with being released. There was some stuff from the sequel in there too, though. And I was surprised. I was like, I can show this. I think I'm good. So I'm going to double check with them. But yeah, anyway. So you'll see that soon. Anyway, so I'm going to move on from that for now. But What else? Oh, so I had a free day the day after all that. And let's see. So I was like, you know what? My plan was to end the trip with like theme park stuff. I didn't even finish talking about the experiment. So the experiment I did on this trip is I flew out during the election and I didn't know what happened in the election. And I thought, let's keep it that way. Let's see how long I can go without finding out who won. So I took social media off my phone. I would post stuff if I needed to from my computer at my hotel. But otherwise, I'm not going to look it up. I'm just going to go about my day and see how long it takes. See if I can go the whole trip without finding out what happened. You know? And so I made a video. I have to edit it still. It'll be out soon. And it was a lot of fun. I think you'll be surprised how long it took. I cast my vote and I got on the plane. And it was interesting seeing how it was interpreted over there. And then you had people... You know, I'd be in a restaurant. It seemed like they were reacting to something happening or something back in the U.S. they maybe weren't happy about or whatever, but they would never say the words. They would never say what happened. And, you know, my ethical code during this video, I wouldn't be like, excuse me, what happened? You know, I kept to myself. And so stay tuned. That video will be coming out soon. And I think you'll be surprised how long it took and what happened. Anyway, okay. So my plan was to end the trip with theme park stuff. Like, okay, the next week that I'm here, I'm just doing, I kind of have it just to myself. I'm not doing too much with other people or groups or whatever. I'm just going to book the theme parks and do that. And my plan was to shoot a ton of stuff for the Mega 64 Patreon, stuff like that. But I had never navigated the Japanese theme parks that well. So I was kind of like, it's going to suck if I go in here to shoot stuff and I don't know what's going on. So I was like, okay, tomorrow, Wednesday, or whatever day of the week it was, is a free day, nothing going on. I'm going to go to DisneySea on my own. I'm just going to do it myself. And I've read all these blogs about how to it was super confusing. Like you think it's an app nightmare here. Oh, I got to use the app for all these things. Yeah. Big time over there. It's like, you want to try to get a queue pass for this ride, but then you could get a 40th anniversary priority pass for another ride. But then you can also pay for a all access pass to cut onto a ride, you know. It was a lot. It was just a lot. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go by myself. I'm going to learn it. And just see what happens. And hopefully crash course that stuff so that next week when I go, and I may go with other people, I may go and do a video, I'll at least know what I'm doing. So I did that. Every blog that I read. So I went to, let me see if I can show you an image. Let me show you an image here. Okay, so none of these properly convey how different it looked when I was, or like how early it was when I was there. But every blog that I read said, you will not believe how early Japanese locals line up for the theme parks. I was like, oh. And everywhere I went, they were like, yeah, you're not ready for how early it's going to be. So every blog that I read was like, Okay, locals will line up as early as 4:30 in the morning. I'm like, what? And they said, yeah. But every blog would say the same thing. They line up as early as 4:30 in the morning. Obviously, you're not going to do that. So here's how to navigate the park if you get there at 7:30 or 8. You know what I mean? Every blog said that. Obviously, you're not going to do it. So here's how to navigate it without having to do that. And I'm like, why not do it? Fuck it. If that's what they do, let's try it. Let's see what happens. And so my schedule here is always, I go to bed kind of late, wake up a little later, I guess. My schedule whenever I go to Japan is like good and healthy. It's like I go to bed early, wake up early. So yeah, I was already waking up early and I'm like, no, let's go. So I was up at 4 a.m. Now I still didn't feel confident enough quite in the train thing. And I didn't know what was happening. Like I know it has its own train line that you have to get a ticket for or something. So I wasn't so far away. It was kind of a little bit inconvenient, but I just took a cab. I was like, I know it's going to be a little pricier maybe, but it's content for our Patreon channel. It's a little more than, obviously more than a train ticket would be. I'll just take a cab. Man, you guys, taking a cab in the morning, I always got like 90-year-old cab drivers who didn't know what DisneySea was. It was like, what? DisneySea? Disney Park? What? Huh? Why? What? So the first day that I went, they didn't know where it was. Every morning consistently that I went to a theme park, because I went a few days, I would show them the address, by the way. I'm seeing that suggestion. It was still, they would tell me, no, that address is so big. That address is so big. I don't even know where to go. I'm like, okay. Consistently, anytime I did this, they would take me to the wrong park. Like if I needed to go to DisneySea, they'd drop me off at Tokyo Disneyland and vice versa. Every time. And I would tell them front entrance. And they would be like, there is no front entrance. At one point I showed the guy, like, there's the address, front entrance. And then, he was like, he looked at the map for like 5 minutes and went, Big Thunder Mountain? Anyway, so yeah, the first day they dropped me off I wanted to go to DisneySea. They dropped me off at Tokyo Disneyland. I was like, this is not the right park. But then what's easy is that if they drop you off there, there's other cab drivers that are in the Disney loop there that they were like, I was like, okay, now can you take me to DisneySea? And they'd be like, oh yeah, absolutely. And in 10 seconds I'd be there. So it's totally fine. So I went to DisneySea and yeah, I was there. Hell, there was already so many people. It was, by the time I got in there, maybe almost 5 in the morning. There were so many people there already. It was crazy. And so, everyone is like, oh my God, you got to wake up that early. Oh my God. I have pictures of this that I'll share myself, but you guys, I want to tell you something. These mornings that I stayed, I was outside. I was sitting outside the gates of the park for like 4 hours. Now, I had plenty of work to do. I was getting stuff ready for Black Friday, which, by the way, we have a big Black Friday presentation coming up this Monday. We'll announce what we're doing for Black Friday. But I had plenty of work to do. It's like I wasn't just sitting there twiddling my thumbs. Like I had work to do, so it was totally fine. These mornings that I spent sitting outside the park gates for hours might have been my favorite part of the entire trip. There was no other time where you were just sitting. People brought like picnic blankets, people brought like chairs and all this other gear to like make their morning more fun and comfortable, kind of thing. There was like woman at the front of the line was fully dressed like Elsa, and she brought like puppets of all the she went far with it. She had like a big ass what's the shitty snowman? Who's the stupid snowman in that movie? But she had like a puppet of that. She had Olaf, that's what it was. And the trolls, like she had those with it too. Like everyone there was so excited, and it was the only time in the trip that I was making friends with people like outside of my language, like anyone else there was like during the trip, people are doing their own thing and keeping to themselves and in their own little world. That was the one part of the trip where I was just there for hours with other people that were just stoked to be there. Now people are talking about the parade thing where people would go in and wait for the parade, sit for the parade all day. And then what? I don't care about the parades at all. I could give a shit about the parades. That has just never interested me, but just that time in the morning where everyone was, and we all, I would bring, those 7-Eleven onigiri. I would have a bunch of those in my backpack to eat just for breakfast, and everyone else was doing the same thing. So it was like we all kind of we were bonding and trying to communicate, and like someone made a hat that had all the Tiki Room characters on it, little toys in them, and it was just like such a pleasant time. It was really, really special. I don't know. I know I'm going to sound weird, but that was like really, really special. Anyway, so yeah, then after hours, you'd have to get in to the gates, and then at DisneySea, the whole reason to get in there early right now is you can get like a virtual pass into I'll spare you the boring details, a virtual pass into this new land that they made called Fantasy Springs. If you were like early through the gate, as soon as they beep you in, you can go, okay, I gotta pass onto the new Frozen ride. I got a new, you'd have to get some kind of pass. You can't just walk into the new land. You had to get a virtual queue ticket. So I got that, and then I got to do everything in the new land. Actually, I didn't do. There's like a little Tinkerbell flat ride. I didn't do that. I actually didn't do that. I was in Fantasy Springs a lot on this trip, but the Tinkerbell thing I didn't do. It was just always a little too hard with everything else I wanted to do and get a pass for. It was hard for me to work that in. Yeah, people are saying it's for babies. I need a reason to go back. So, if I'll go back and act like a baby or something, even more than I already do. But anyway, the new rides I really liked. The Frozen ride was incredible. I really wish it was based on something else, like an original thing, because it was 10 out of 10 dark ride magic. The scale of it was kind of phenomenal. It was really impressive. I wish it was. Yeah. I'm going to pull up this blog that Guy did. Guy's in the chat, and let me pull it up. Okay, Guy, I think I found your thing here. Yeah, I don't want to spoil too much either. Yeah, perfect. We got it. Okay, so you can see pictures here, sort of. Can I inflate this a little bit? Yeah, there we go. So there's Fantasy Springs. What it the Arendelle part of it. That's it during the day, and then this ride you get on. It's a boat ride. It was really impressive. Like this door, it has Anna on one side and Elsa on, and then it flips around and Elsa is there, and then she kind of freezes the thing. Everything has exactly what Guy wrote here. Everything has a wow moment. There's a wow moment in every single scene. There's an animatronic of her being sad here. And I agree with Guy as well. Nothing captures the scale of this. Everything was so damn big. Like, look at that. She's singing Let It Go in this part, and look how big it is around her. It's not just like a little piddly room. Like, this is a huge structure. At one point, the town gets frozen. I mean, it was just extremely impressive. All of it, the effects. Every scene had something where you're going, wait, how the hell did they do that? So that was really cool. The whole ride was dope. Then there was the Tangled ride, which was that was another thing I saw. I went in cold on all these, no pun intended for Frozen, but I went in cold on all these things. And so I didn't know anything. I just knew that this one had a lot of animatronics, but the Peter Pan ride, which is a new one too, was projection. So I kind of deprioritized that. I was like, nah, whatever. So I was like, no, the second thing I got to do is the Tangled thing. I got to go on that. What was dope was it starts outside. I love that. I really love that. And like the whole time you're in the land, you could see this tower. There's just way up there. There's a little animatronic of her singing, of Rapunzel singing in the tower. And that was really, really cool. It was just impressive. But I will say, this ride, to me, I would compare it to, like the Avatar boat ride in Florida. Do you know what I'm saying? Where it's like a couple amazing things, like, whoa, oh dude, look at that. Oh, it's over. Like you go on this ride and then it's like, oh, there's some stuff in there. And it's really impressive. It's like, wow. Oh my God, this lantern part was so cool. Seriously. And everyone is just like, whoa. And then it's over. It ends super abruptly. And I don't know. I was kind of like, it was okay. I don't know what's going on here. Is the chat having issues looking at the chat here? I don't know what's happening. The chat is going on the screen, but it's not coming up in the app anymore. Hold on one second. Okay. I think it's working now. Anyway, so yeah, that was that right. I was not blown away by it. It was okay. So I feel the same way as I do the Avatar boat ride. I love it. I think it's neat if there's not a wait, you know, if you've got to wait hours for this, like, do not bother. That's how I felt. Especially compared to the Frozen ride. It was like, okay. But then I did this Peter Pan ride in Fantasy Springs. where you're in this vehicle and then you go to different projections and stuff. They kind of Spider-Man it a little bit, like the one in Florida where it's tons of physical sets but with projections in between, or, like fueling the action. I loved this ride. I was surprised how it was frenetic, and it actually felt at times like the other Avatar ride, Flight of Passage, where it makes you feel like you're flying alongside Peter Pan. I thought, it was a bummer. It was a bummer that, what am I trying to say here? I lost my train of thought of what's a bummer. An angry Japanese person emailed me and said, your Peter Pan photos are forbidden. I didn't know photos weren't allowed on the ride. Oh, that's funny because I filmed the entire thing. Look for that on Patreon soon. Anyway. I realize there's some super chats that I have not seen, so I'm going to do that now. Oops. Dan Turrell said, just want to say it's nearly 10 years ago, but I really loved your Gauntlet 2014 video. Were you guys approached by the creators? Any fond memories of filming experience? That's crazy. I didn't expect to hear about that. No, that's actually maybe one of my least favorite videos because we were asked just by like Warner Brothers, like they're just their marketing team. Like, hey, do you want to do a video for this? I was like, okay. And we did, and it was like the pieces of it never kind of came together. Like that video, we have like each of us doing a different thing, but we were done filming and then we had to leave for PAX and it had to be done right before that. So we edited it together, but I feel like we never found the right formula, and then we just had to show it there and that was it. So I was always disappointed in that. Sorry for that bummer answer. Numberlock says, have you seen another anime, Rocco? Have I seen another anime? What, other than what? Dragon Ball? I've seen a bunch of anime. What are you asking? What is that? What is another anime? Anyway. Okay. Tinkerbell's busy buggies. I didn't even look at this. This sucks. I wish I would have done this, but it just did not fit. I'll do it later when there isn't a big wait, Anyway, there was some good food in this land too. I had at least one thing in each new themed restaurant, and again, it was all super cheap. I did have this at one point. This was like a seafood pie thing. It was like lobster and macaroni and scallops and stuff. It was good. It was really good. Snuggly Duckling from Tangled. They built that. It was mostly burgers in there though, so I wasn't really super interested in that. I did during the stream, the thing that I made for Patreon. I did have they have like a shrimp burger here. I did have that on the second day. The Pixie Dust soda was really good. I agree with Guy on that. I had that too. It was really good. How many popcorn stands did you hit up? A few, but you know what? I don't know if I don't know if there was any that I was like, damn, like they're all okay. I had curry popcorn at DisneySea, soy sauce and butter popcorn at DisneySea. That was good. They were all fine. And then I had they gave me hot caramel corn with my with the Beauty and the Beast bucket or whatever. They were all fine, but I don't know if there's any that are like, damn, that was so good. Like it was just, I don't know. Okay. Guy is talking about they've got roast beef popcorn. I heard from a lot of people this was disgusting, and I didn't. There was a big line for it, so I didn't go. I didn't do it. Easily one of the worst food items I have ingested in a Disney theme park. Damn. Yeah, I did not know about that. Fantasy Springs Hotel gets their own entrance into Fantasy Springs. That's cool. I didn't do that, but that's cool. Fantasy Springs had a gift shop. I went there in my Patreon video. You get to see that. Anyway, some cool rock work there. Anyway, I didn't want to just talk about the theme parks that whole time. But anyway, I went on my own to DisneySea and just kind of looked around. And, it is, I'm not going to say this is my favorite theme park or anything. I think there are others I would put above it. But if you're talking what's the most beautiful theme park, I mean, it might be this. Like, I don't know how you're topping this shit. Come on. It's gorgeous there. It really is. So anyway, it was great going there, getting the hang of all the, like, getting passes to work and, like, things like that. So I mastered it, and I was like, cool. Now I can come back next week and I'll film stuff, and it'll be great. One thing that I got to do on my own, let's see. One thing that I got to do on my own that was extremely cool was while I was there, I was just kind of exploring. I got to do the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea ride, which was broken. When I came, to DisneySea maybe like a decade ago, and anytime I tried, it was broken. So I was so sad that I couldn't go. Finally went on that. That ride rules. Oh my God, I love it. That's one of my favorites. Period. So I did that, and just explored like that mysterious island area. It was just so awesome. And I was like, what should I eat later? And I thought, I always hear about this restaurant, Magellan's. I should go to Magellan. I should check that out, and see if that's available. And there was a I think they want a reservation, but I it was easy to get one. There was, I think I went in a pretty good time. It was still crowded, don't get me wrong, but pretty, easy to figure it out. Did it through the app. Okay, cool. I'll go there later. Man, exploring the fort and stuff around this island, like that whole like castle area, was like unbelievable. I didn't give myself enough time to explore that. That was so cool. Anyway, So then I got to it was like, okay, my time to eat at Magellan's. That was for sure the best meal I've had of the trip. Not even because the food's so good. It was like, oh, by the way, Agro Craig in the chat is saying Journey to the Center of the Earth was closed when I went in 2019, so I'm excited to go on it in a few weeks when I'm there. You may want to look that up because it was closed a few days ago. It is down for repair right now, so if it's opening again soon, cool. But maybe you know more about that than I do. But Craig, sorry. Anyway. So if you ever go to DisneySea, this place you can eat at is Magellan's. And it's kind of like it's run by the organization that is that has built all this stuff on Mysterious Island, called the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, SEA. They are kind of this secret society of adventurer people, and there's a continuity, kind of a story with them that runs through all the parks. Like you could go to Disneyland and find SEA stuff in the like Treehouse or the Jungle Cruise. Like, oh, the SEA left this package here, or this is, these guys were from the SEA and they were there. Like, it's kind of an ongoing low-key storyline in between a bunch of attractions and stuff. But they have a major stronghold in DisneySea where it's literally like when you're on Mysterious Island, their emblem is on all kinds of stuff. There's flags for them in this fortress area. And it's like Magellan was part of the organization, according to their story. So he has his own restaurant. And so you go in there and it's got a globe. It's got all these kind of exploratory things from the organization. And I didn't know anything about it. It's just so neat in there. I didn't know anything about it except people had told me, oh, there's it's really pretty inside, and oh yeah, there's a secret room in it, Like, oh, okay. Oh, cool. Very cool. I think they knew how excited I was when I walked in there. Or what. I don't know what it was that they thought, but I walked in and they were all so also might not have, didn't seem like it was a very busy night there, but they were all just like so happy I was there. I had a whole entourage of people bowing when I walked in. It was like, oh yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm here. And they were, oh, Craig is saying Journey to the Center of the Earth is open now, but 20,000 Leagues closed as of 3 days ago for maintenance. Wow, I did luck out. Wow. That was close. I was kind of keeping an eye on these calendars, so I didn't think I was in danger, but man, that's crazy. Anyway, I didn't even say a word to these people running the restaurant. I walked in and they were like, oh my gosh, it's you. And then they bowed. They were like, we're so happy to see you. Okay. It's like, okay. And then this woman walked me away. This cast member, she walked me away from the group, like, follow me. Okay. And I'm following her. And she goes, this restaurant has 3 rooms. That room over there, the main room, Magellan's room out here, and a secret room. And I was like, yeah, this rules. This is awesome. She was like, tonight you will be in the secret room. I didn't even ask for it. She was just like, yeah, you're going in the secret room. I was like, what? And she walked me over to, there was a bookcase. And she's like, look around, look around. It's like, what? And so there was like, there were books in the bookcase. And then there was like what do you say? Like what do you call that? Like a thing around it, around the bookcase. It's like a what's the word? Not a bind, like in the corner, like in the ceiling, they put something around the edge of the ceiling. You know what I mean? What do you call that? Dying here. What do you call that? Molding? Yeah, whatever. I guess that would work. There's a molding. Yeah, sorry, I could not think of it. Molding kind of around the edge of the bookcase. And it had all these little circles in it. And it looked like you could press one of the circles. So I pressed it, and that thing, it was an automatic door. Oh my God. And there was a whole, like, there was a wine, it was like an underground kind of chamber, like a wine room. You know what I mean? That's literally where I sat, right there. Yeah, it was this. You open, it was one of those little things on the side, you know what I mean? And you pressed it and it opened up. And you went in here, and it was, I don't know why they did this for me, but I was down there, and then they just brought me food all night. They just kept, it was like, okay, we're going to bring you this. We're going to bring you that. We're going to bring you this. We're going to bring you that. You like coffee? You want a coffee to go with that? They brought me a drink, this like cinnamon tasting drink. And it had the SEA logo. It had the emblem on it, and it was like, wow, what great theming. And, I put it on the table, and they were like, no. You take that home. You take that home. It was so magical. It was like one of the best nights ever. It was so cool. I don't know what tipped them off to this. Maybe you're right. Maybe Kojima did call him in. I mean, I made that joke. Maybe he was like, all right, give him the special treatment. And again, all of this was cheaper than like if we went to like just a normal ass meal here. If it was cheaper than that. It cost like nothing to do this. It was ridiculous. It was cheaper than just a normal meal at a theme park here. Like it was so awesome. And they were so nice. They would bring me a plate. Okay, that's nuts and cheese with honey foam on it. That's duck, that's squid, and that's salmon. I was like, oh, cool, thanks. And then they would just stand there like, does it look good? Are you happy? I was like, yeah. All right, yeah, okay, yeah. It was like, what is going on? Something happened. Either they looked up someone told them to do this, or they just saw that I was excited, or I don't know what happened here. But they were, I just had immense luck the entire trip. It really was magic. I just had so much good luck the entire trip. Maybe they mistook me for someone else. Exactly. They were like, oh, dude, Brad Pitt just walked in the door, because we kind of look similar. Anyway. Yeah, so that was really, really cool. That was really, really cool. And then, I was leaving, and I took more pictures of this. Like, oh, before I go, I want to take more pictures. And they were like, no. And I thought they were mad that I was taking pictures. And they grabbed my phone, and they were like, no, you should be in the picture. What? And so they took a picture of me next to this big globe. Let's see if I can find it. They were like, no, you have to be in the picture. You've got to be in the picture. It's like, okay. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can even see that. Oh man, terrible visuals there, but that's okay. Anyway, you get it. It was such a magical night. That was. I can't even say how special that was. That was really, really, really incredible. Lots of moments that I think about and get a little emotional about from this trip. That's the sign of a good trip to me. That's the real Donald Trump. Get the good plates. Yeah, they might have thought that. They might have thought that. It was so nice, though, let me tell you. Eating down in that underground hidden bunker, having good food, and not knowing what was happening in the election was like, I did my civic duty. I voted. Yeah, I'm not suggesting ignorance from, like doing your part. I did my part, and I just didn't have to hear anything else. Just anyway. Maybe they knew and they just pitied me. Okay, that could be. Anyway, so that was the free day that I had. And I'll kind of go fast through the other stuff, but the next day I had another meet. Next day I went to SNK. That was really cool. I'm not going to say a ton about that, but had a good meeting there. We'll just say that. Yes, I met Mai Shiranui. That was cool. No, but no, got to go there. Check that out. That was really, really neat. Got to go to lunch. We had some kind of, I think it was yakiniku or something like that. That was really good. What did I do that night? I think that night went to the official Ava store, which I mentioned. That was really cool. The only collectible thing, like I got a couple little things. I was surprised how the parks, people always say, "Oh, the theme park merch in Tokyo is the best. Oh, it's so crazy." If you're into like Duffy, like that bear and stuff like that, it is. But, I'm looking for like stuff specific to the theme park. I like the parks. I'm not really looking for characters like Stitch or something. I don't care about that. I'm not so much a Disney fan as much as I am the parks. And so I got a couple Fantasy Springs little trinkets and stuff. I got a funny hat you'll see if you check out our Patreon video that comes out later. But yeah, I was kind of disappointed in the parks merch, but I did. Yeah, Tokyo Disney merch sucks. I agree, Guy. I set money aside because I knew it's like, dude, from what I've heard, they have a lot of Country Bears merch, and I am a huge Country Bears fan. So that was the one thing I was like, all right, if I'm gonna, buy anything out there, it's gonna be that. So I waited for that. Nothing. They had a roll of tape with Country Bears on it, like stationary like tape. So the one thing that I did for myself that I splurged on, just as not getting this anywhere else, I'll get it for myself. Was in the Evangelion store. The one they had a couple exclusive things you could only get in the Evangelion store. And they had Gendo's glasses. So I got those. That was like, if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to get those. They had like a plush of almost every single angel from the show. And I did get one. I got one of those. Because they did a plush of the one that they fight in. What is it called? Ray 2? Or is it Ray 3? Oh no, it's been a long time. The one where they fight where the angel is just like a ring of light. Do you know what I'm talking about? There's like no design to it. It's just a ring of light. They had a plush of that. And that was cracking me up so bad. I did get that. I did get that. Because I just thought, why does this? It looked like a plush donut with an official Evangelion tag on it, you know? So anyway, that was kind of the main thing that I got for myself. I got a couple gifts for other people. Oh, I'm sorry. The one piece of park merch that I got, other than the couple rando things that I got in Disney Springs, I did get a little Chandu plush, a little one. I don't normally get a lot of plush, but I went on the Sinbad ride at DisneySea, and I loved it. That actually motivated me to book later in fall because I kept hearing that was closed all year for repairs or something, and so I waited until I went on. I waited until that was open again, and there's like a little tiger in every scene, and they had a plush that looked just like the one on the ride. So I'm like, well, that's a 1-to-1 thing from a ride. I would like that. So what I really wanted was the next week I went to Tokyo Disneyland. And man, somehow I went on a day that was quiet. It was like not very busy at all. It was shockingly quiet there. As in, like, I'm standing in the hub of the park and can't hear anything. It's like distant music and that's it. It was quiet. But anyway, I loved that fucking Tony Solaroni guy. This little fucking puppet, this little shit that's in the pizza restaurant there. I watched this for like an hour. I was a grown-ass man eating a little kid pizza and watching this animatronic show. Oh my God, I was in heaven. I was in heaven. Look at this little shit. And he teaches you how he makes all the pizza. This fucking rules. This is the best thing I've ever seen. Okay, I'm going to complain, though. With Tokyo Disneyland, they used to have this guy, and he's like a cousin to Sunny Eclipse in Florida. And they used to have him at the exit of Star Tours, like monitoring all these planets and like stuff like that. But they got rid of him. They just put a wall over this. Why did they do that? Why did they do that? I tried to find a plush. So they made a plush of this guy, Tony Solaroni. This was nowhere in the parks. I could not get it. This was the thing I wanted from the parks the most. And I told the cast, eventually I looked over the whole park and was like, yeah, I'm just not finding this anywhere. So I went to a cast member and was like, hey, I showed them a picture. Like, I might have been this photo. And I'm like, where is this? I need this. And then that cast member had a tablet that showed all the merch that they carried. And she went, okay. And then looked over the page. It wasn't there. Next page. No. 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 Next. They probably went through like 50 pages. I was standing there for 20 something minutes and they were like, no, we're going to find this for you. We're going to find it. We'll go through every page of this. I was like, well, okay. Hold on. Stay right there. Stay right there. No, 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 no. I mean, it went. They were not. And I was like, oh, that's okay. That's okay. They're like, no, no, no. We will find it. We'll find it. No, 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 no. So yeah. Anyway. They got to like page 50 and was like, okay, yeah, we really don't have it. We don't have it anywhere. They said, check the toy shop, the Toy Works or whatever it was called on Main Street. But otherwise, yeah. The store that was supposed to have it didn't have it. So I am so sad that I couldn't get, like, this is the thing I wanted the most from the theme park. So I don't know if I just hit eBay. I guess this was, yeah, they did like blind box figures too. That's really cool. I need like a toy of this fucking guy. I need it. I love that there's like lore between these two guys. Just got back from the chicken place at Knott's and Rocco's still streaming. Damn, I haven't had a chicken dinner in a long time. That sounds really good. Anyway, there's that guy. So anyway, enough of the theme park stuff. Yeah, went to SNK. That was cool. SNK is in the same building as Japanese Starbucks. Like the headquarters for Starbucks in Japan was right there. And they actually, if you went to their floor, they had a working Starbucks that you could get a coffee. And I did that. I got like it was like their Christmas mix. And it just kind of tasted like sugar cookies a little bit. That was really good. Where else did I go that night? Oh yeah, the Ava store. What else was there? I'm trying to think what else I did. Went to the next day. Went to Tenga. Had a very good meeting there. You're going to be hearing a lot more about them soon. And then they drove me over to their flagship store in Harajuku. So I got to see that. I recorded a video there. I think it's on my personal channel. You can check that out. And then from there, I just kind of walked around and walked through Shibuya. I walked from Harajuku to Shibuya, I believe. And went to the official. They had another Ava store over there. But they had the official Nintendo store. Oh my God. That was another thing. It was like, oh, there's a lot here. It was almost so much that it made it easy to not buy everything because it was like too overwhelming. It was like, okay, enough. But I got like, again, like, you know, they say official Nintendo store, but these are always like, whenever there's an official whatever store, it's always like a smaller thing inside a bigger department store, basically. So I had to go in like the 6th floor of some department store, and then this was here. But they had some cool Tears of the Kingdom stuff. I got a couple, like a keychain, you know, a couple things there. They had a little towel that looked like it was made in that village, like it had like ornate stuff on it. You know, that was kind of cool. Yeah, they had a lot of Pikmin stuff. I didn't see the plush Olimar. Oh, that's cute. Anyway, they had so much Splatoon stuff. Oh my God. Anyway, did I get controller keychains from the gacha there? They had that. I didn't see it. I didn't see it anywhere. Oh my God. I wanted that so bad, but I didn't see that. Where was it? Yeah, it was like a gumball machine. I didn't see that in there. To be honest, I didn't see it. Shit, I was dying for those. Oh, wonder where in here that is. Because I combed over this thing. Or on the side facing the Pokemon Center. Maybe that's why I avoided it. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I swear I looked over there a whole bunch. Maybe I just didn't pay attention to it. Anyway, I went to the Capcom store. That was like right across from it, but I was kind of unimpressed. They had little first aid spray bottles like Resident Evil style. That was funny, but the rest of it was just kind of, I don't know, stuff I would expect to get at like GameStop. You know what I mean? It wasn't really anything. This is killing me. I'm looking for these gacha machines now. Anyway. Yeah, a lot of Monster Hunter stuff. Not that much Resident Evil. Went to Tower Records. That was really cool. There's a video about that on my personal channel right now. You can go watch. And then yeah, over the weekend, went with a friend to I did a stream in Akihabara. I filmed some other stuff. I did try to do a video for our main channel. I don't even know if I should say what it was because I like the concept, but it did not work out. I was really determined to do a certain main channel video, and it just no one was. It did not work out. So I felt bad about that, but maybe I'll keep that to myself and do it another day. But I streamed in Akihabara, and the chat led me to Go Curry. Dude, this place with the damn gorilla on it. Oh, fuck. Oh, it was good. I didn't eat all this. That's not what I got. So I ordered it with an egg, and then I didn't know I had ordered a raw egg, and they brought me like a raw egg in like a gravy boat. I was like, what? But then the chat was like, no, you're good. You can eat that here. Like in Japan, you're good. You're good. You're good. I'm like, what? Okay. And it's so funny because I'm texting Johnny like, hey, he loves Go Curries. I was like, hey, I made it to Go Curry. He's like, awesome. I'm like, but I ordered a raw egg. And he was like, yeah, I accidentally did that too. Oh, man. That was killing me. Anyway. So I just dumped that thing on and mixed it up and ate it. And it was fucking good. It was really good. Oh, it was so good. Anyway, that was amazing. Then day after that, did a bunch of stuff. I got to go to, I'll talk more about this later too, but I got to go to a Japanese Costco. I got to go shopping at Costco, and I've got a video coming out where I tried everything at the food court. So that's coming out. And then I just kind of like, went shopping there, and that was like fun to check out. Went shopping after this to at Nakano Broadway. I heard it was a big indoor mall full of a bunch of old crap. Oh my God, that was awesome. That was no joke. Like this weird old Japanese mall full of, they had every Super Sentai tokusatsu thing that I ever wanted to see. Mandarake had a huge presence there. It was crazy. This place was like, this was like the whole damn day. Oh, I forgot to mention the day before. Someone showed me, it was a arcade in, Oh man, I went to a vintage arcade thing. No, it was, where's Joypolis? It was in the same building as Joypolis. It is in, I'll tell you right now. It's in Yokohama. Oh, the original. Okay. No. Odaiba. That's what it was. I was in Odaiba. There was like a vintage arcade there. That was so dope. I didn't go to Joypolis. I'm showing you this, but it was like down the ways from this. But this vintage arcade in Odaiba was so awesome. They had every old arcade game, and they all worked perfect. They were taken care of perfectly. And then in this mall too, there was a little weird looking haunted house thing. It was like, oh, what's that? And they were telling me, oh, that's like voted the scariest haunted house in all of Japan. I was like, what? That's right here? It looks so rinky dink. And then they were like, no, you don't want to go in there. We didn't go in. I wish I had a better payoff to that story. Like, oh, and then I went in and this happened and that. No, it's like, no, we didn't want to go in. So we didn't go in. But I heard it was scary. So maybe next time. If I go with like Derek and Sean or something, that would be really cool. Anyway. Yeah, I heard about the Small Worlds Tokyo and their Evangelion exhibit in Odaiba. I didn't get a chance to go to that. That kills me, but yeah, I didn't get a chance to go. I heard about that. If you went to Odaiba and Joypolis, you were literally like 5 minutes away from Big Gun. I know. We were planning to go to that, but then after the Odaiba arcade, I just had a really good dinner and wanted to chill. Like I said, I was not in a rush this trip. So you know what? I'll check it out next time. Anyway, aside from that, after those days, so I did the meetup that Sunday after Nakano Broadway. I was just killing time at Nakano Broadway before. It's like, oh, we got a little time before the meetup. I'll just kill time here. And Nicholas Winding Refn, the director, was just there too. Just shopping, looking at the same stuff I was. What he was in Tokyo for, cannot say. But he was chilling, and I was like, you like this place too, huh? Oh yeah. And he was like, yeah, it's like my favorite place to shop. Hope I'm not blowing up his spot, but I was like, yeah, this place rules. So just talked to him for a minute, chatted for a bit. And then the next day, I think it was the next day, I went to regular Tokyo Disneyland. And again, did the whole thing again where I woke up early. There were not that many people there at Tokyo Disneyland that morning. I got there actually earlier than I needed to. I was right at the front. But I went to Tokyo Disneyland the next day. And at one point during the day, I got in line for Star Tours. And Nicholas Winding Refn also got in line for Star Tours. Like, we were just doing the same shit. Like, oh, sup, dude? We were like both on the same, like, oh man, we were just on the same wavelength the whole time. Anyway, Uh, yeah. So aside from that, Nintendo Museum. Yeah, I didn't try for that because I wasn't anywhere close to it. I think in the future maybe I'll fly in to like, maybe next time I'll go to Osaka or I'll go to Kyoto or whatever, and that'll be maybe a little easier to go to that. But yeah, this time I just wasn't. I wanted to stay in Tokyo. I really wasn't thinking too hard about it. Yeah, we did talk Kojima. We did. Anyway, but aside from that, yeah, the last few days of the trip, was, yeah, I had some other, I'm not going into every part of it. I had some other meetings, other things I was doing. But the gist of it is, those are all the fun things. We did the meetup on Sunday, just randomly, just again because I kept getting recognized and stuff like that. I was like, okay, so there are fans out here. So if I do some kind of meetup, like I'm not over here very often, maybe that would be cool, just to kind of like touch base and meet people and get a video out of it, and that'll be cool. And yeah, I was surprised. We had a pretty nice turnout. That was really cool. On that Sunday, met in front of the Tamashi Nation store in Akihabara and met a ton of great people. But yeah, I was out late the night before in Odaiba, just talking and talking and talking, and I was already my voice was already kind of deteriorating a little bit. But it was like, I think it was the combination of it being cold and I never stopped fucking talking that it just killed. My voice was like this. I went to the meetup and my voice was like this, and it just sucked. Worst meal of the trip. Worst meal. Worst meal. That's a really good question. The worst meal that I had. There was some place I went to. You know what's really a huge bummer? I had so many great meals this trip. I did not have like a great. I didn't have sushi. I really didn't have like good sushi. It never came up. And it's kind of interesting because you always heard like, oh, in Japan it's like it's always fish, it's always seafood. You rarely have like meat or beef. That's how it used to be. And every time I go now, it's always like, oh, you got to try this beef thing. You got to try this fried chicken. Oh, you got to try this fried beef. You got to try. It's a lot. It was a lot of fried food and a lot of like meat. Now I'm just like, oh, this isn't how it used to be when I was first starting to go. It's kind of interesting. Um, so I had a lot of great food. I would say the worst meal probably was, in Harajuku, I taste tested a burrito, and that video is on my channel now if you want to see it. I taste tested it. It was still like not too bad. It actually was surprisingly like okay, but that would technically be the worst one. You know what I mean? There's a burrito in Harajuku. How good is that going to be? But not too bad. Yeah, if you want to see videos, I've been posting videos every single day from Japan, and still will for a while. Um, I'm Rocco Bodie on YouTube, youtube.com/Rocco Bodie. Oops. Anyway, the rest of the trip, I mean, the last few days of my trip were just kind of the theme parks. I did regular Tokyo Disneyland. As I mentioned, I got very lucky. There was not that many people at Tokyo Disneyland that day. I was very, very excited about that. Um, the Beauty and the Beast ride was like, I'm like embarrassed to say how emotional I was during that. That was like, I'm so glad I went on the first time. I got to do it a few times through the day, but the first one I was just on my own. I was alone. And I'm so grateful for that because the amount, if you saw me, the amount that I was clutching my chest and gasping, the whole ride was humiliating. Absolutely embarrassing. What I did for Beauty and the Beast, I rope dropped it. I went straight to it right in the morning. I would say it took maybe an hour still to get in. But while I did it, while I was in there, you could buy like a cut the line pass to go on it. I bought another one and timed it just right that as soon as I got off, I could walk back on. So that's what I did. It was amazing. Amazing. One of the best rides I've ever been on. The trackless thing really let them run wild with the storytelling. Where what was really cool about the Beauty and the Beast ride is it it keeps you in the scenes for a long time. You know what I mean? It's not just, oh, look at this room, now go to the next room and go to the next room. It was like it was like they did Be Our Guest, and you're in that room for like 5 minutes. Like they like your vehicle goes in, and then it whisks you over to Belle's side as she's like getting dinner at the table, but there's nothing on the table. And then they flip you around to go to see Lumiere again. And then when you flip around, now there's all this food on the table. Where did that come from? And they flip you around again. When you look back around, now there's even more food, and the cake's getting bigger and bigger. And there's a Jello mold wobbling around. It was just, you'd be in there as a scene developed around you instead of just going from room to room to room to room to room. Like, it was kind of just 5 big rooms, but you'd be in there a long time. It was, I don't know any other ride like that. It was really incredible. Anyway, aside from that, did the usual stuff. What else? What else did I do? I'd never had seen. I guess this show had been on hiatus for years, but I finally got to see the Country Bears Christmas show. I'd never seen this, where they do a whole Christmas play. It's all Christmas songs. I went and saw this like 5 times. I hate to say it, but that was amazing. Um, Went to the Hungry Bear to eat after this, and it was like it was curry, beef and curry and tandoori chicken. I think it had too, and that was really good. Me and Kevin shit on this before and called you out. Well, guy, I still I still prefer and would rather have I think I would rather have the original Country Bears show. To me, that is like what this was designed for. But I did enjoy seeing the Christmas one. The summer camp one or whatever, not not so much, not so much. But I just love Christmas. So I guess I'm still kind of talking shit. But it was cool seeing this. I did enjoy it. Fuck you. Maybe I'll go back when they do the camp one and I'll give it another shot. Anyway, what else? Yeah, just kind of did that. Just kind of did the parks the rest of the trip. Yeah, it was a very special time. Zick is asking any update on merch. What merch? Which merch specifically? I can update hopefully on whatever. Only thing I could say off the top of my head too is like if you're waiting for the Gamer Wars Blu-ray, um, the nighttime Blu-ray was like supposed to be. Everyone was supposed to have that like in hand, like long before Halloween, and most people did, but the one that came with the book, the book was like, as always, like we fix one thing and another thing breaks. Like the Blu-ray was perfect, but the that book did not turn out. Like the back cover was printed in the middle. It was, I mean, it made no sense. So that was reprinted, and now they're all out now. So, but anyway, because we were tending to that, the Gamer Wars Blu-ray got pushed a little bit. So I would say December for that. Sorry about that. Awesome to meet you at Tokyo DisneySea. Can't wait to see the Patreon video. Oh yeah, I met someone at DisneySea who was a member of the Patreon, and so I was filming, and I was like, "Well, this is for you. You want to see it?" And they were like, "Oh, now I'm in it." Okay, great. So there you go. Perfect folds. Great to see you. What? What the hell is this? I don't want to see this. Were the meetup folks mainly Americans? There were a lot of people from like I said, the UK, Australia, Americans who moved to Japan. You know, a couple Japanese people, but really it was kind of just people from all over the world. It was interesting. Least favorite thing at DisneySea? Oh, that's a good question. Least favorite thing at DisneySea? Hmm. Hmm. Least favorite thing? Yeah, some weird popcorn. Nemo and Friends Sea Rider. I didn't even bother with that. I really loved it when it was Storm. Was it Storm Rider? Storm Chaser? It used to be a different ride that I actually really liked, but the Nemo thing, I was like, nah, I'm good. I was too sad. Um, I would also say too, like going over to the American waterfront area was incredible. It looked like old New York, and that was so dope. And then it being, and then you like, oh, what attractions in there? And it's like Turtle Talk with Crush. It's like what? That was disappointing. Aside from that, yeah, I don't know. Are there any Disney parks you have yet to visit? Hong Kong and Shanghai. Does Stitch belong in the Tiki Room? Hell no. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I know my voice is going to go away again soon, so I'm not going to stream too much longer. But if anybody has any other questions, did they have the Cinderella Castle Mystery Tour? I heard they have the Horned King from the Black Cauldron in there. It kills me. That closed like 20 years ago, or something like that. Can you go give a review? Give a Rockabody review on Japan's Rabbit Island. No, I haven't gone. Turtle Talk in DisneySea was supposed to be an underwater observatory. There was a concept art of it before the park opened. Really? Sorry if the socks I gave you at the meetup didn't fit. Only one size. No, they fit. I wore them home. They're great. Um, Favorite thing traveling alone. Like I said, I was seeing people out there and hanging with people, but it's kind of nice going on your own just because when you're really it's different. When you go to like I always use this example. Garrett had an example of Comic-Con. He's like, when I go to San Diego Comic-Con, that is an alone trip. Like, really? He's like, yeah, because there's so many specific interests that I have. If you're with a group, it's, oh, could we go to that panel? Could we go? Guys, I have very specific interests. I'm going to tend to those. When you go on your own to Japan, you can be that guy. I was, you know what I mean? Like I was watching fucking Tony Solaroni for an hour, you know? If I was with another person, they'd be like, you good? They would want to get out of there. They would probably fly home early, you know? But, yeah, I got to go wherever I want, stay as long as I wanted, you know, whatever. So that aspect is cool. That being said, yeah, life changing. I agree, Guy. Got hiccups all of a sudden. That being said, the next time I go, I would love to actually do a group trip, because it's different. Well, it's just like going to a theme park. You go on your own, it's like cool in its own way, but you love going with friends too. Oh my god! Now I have heinous hiccups all of a sudden. Anyway. Well, I think I'm going to wrap this up. That's kind of the gist of stuff. I know, I'm sure there's other things too, but I'll tell, I'm sure these things will come out as time goes on. Creepy Old Crypt in Japan. That would be very cool. That would be very cool. Welcome home. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I really do. Yeah, if you do a group trip, you can still have a day with people and a day to yourself. Exactly. So, Tokyo Disney Game Days. I mean, I did have people tell me when I was there. They're like, "Hey, this is proof. You could do it." And honestly, it would probably be cheaper to do that than one anywhere else. Anyway. Well, I hope that was okay and not terribly annoying having to hear about my trip and stuff, but I hope you liked it. I had a good time kind of revisiting everything. And again, more videos to come. Subscribe, youtube.com/RoccoBotte, ROCCOBOTTE. Go there, and I've got daily videos I'm uploading from Japan. So check that out. Also. Let me see if this works. What the fuck? I went to look at our Twitter page and it was like, it's just like the best of our tweets. It's not like anything in order. Ew, what the fuck? I was going to show you the image, but it doesn't matter. All right, everybody. What I was going to say was Black Friday is coming. On Monday, we will have a Black Friday presentation, 5 p.m. Pacific. 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll do a little live stream letting you see what we're planning for this Black Friday. So stay tuned on that. It's going to be fun. We have a big presentation planned. So tune in for that. And yeah, that's kind of what we're working on next. We have a bunch of stuff happening this coming week, so stay tuned for more. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, exactly. Both of those are coming up soon. And yeah, like I said, my personal channel, youtube.com/RoccoBodie, and I'll have videos from Japan every single day. So thanks for watching, everybody. Sorry my stream was a day late, but wasn't up to it yesterday. But hopefully we'll be back on schedule next week for once. And yeah, I think that's it. Hope there is another mystery shirt option. There will be. There will be. All right, everybody. Good to see you. Have a good night. Take care. Good night.